I know not a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to say they love their job, but I really love my job. I get to sit here all day and talk to interesting people. I don't have a boss breathing down my neck. I have enough loyal listeners that they let me stay on the air, and I really feel passionately about the topics we cover. Plus, in radio, you never have to write anything down. WSTO, this is Kishi in the morning. Talk to me.
Hi, longtime listener, first-time caller. I really loved your show yesterday where you talked about intersectional feminism in the sphere of geek culture. And I wondered, what are your thoughts on the missed opportunity of the Marvel movies to cast people of color on the forefront of change there?
I am so glad you asked that question. Honestly, I'm disappointed in the comic book movie industry in general. I'm an artist, and I've worked on several runs of comics that I think are doing a great job at being progressive and representative. And it's always a conversation. We don't have a story meeting without talking about how LGBTQA people, or people of color, or feminism can tie into the roles. I don't know. The movies should be having those conversations, but the conclusion they come to must be that it doesn't matter. And let me tell you, as a Japanese American woman, it matters. Thanks so much for calling. Well, there goes that, I guess. She has to reschedule.
What will you do instead?
Well, I happen to have a guest right here.
Okay, but don't have high expectations.
Hello, listeners. I'm joined now by my best friend, Stacey McGill. She's a New Yorker and has a street-style fashion blog and Instagram, Scene Stealer.
Thanks, Claude.
Stacey and I spent a lot of our youth, between our life-altering crushes on boys, babysitting. I've talked about my experience with that on the show before, but Stacey, why don't you tell our listeners about Charlotte?
Charlotte, she was always my favorite person to babysit. I was only about 5 years older than her, so I sometimes thought of her as like a little sister.
Did you ever consider the influence we would be on the kids we sat for back in the day?
No way. I knew I liked the responsibility, being in charge, being trusted by adults, and I loved the money. It funded my fashion habits. But it wasn't until way later that I realized the bonds we had with the kids were long-lasting.
So you still talk to Charlotte?
We email a lot and talk on the phone a couple times a month. I love her.
Let me ask you this. Are you ever surprised by how much she teaches you on your daily conversations?
Oh, absolutely. I think that young women get this reputation of being wrapped up in, like, boys and nail polish. But she's a social justice warrior, much like yourself, and she's really out there doing it.
You raised her well. It's amazing what young people and even younger people are doing to broaden this conversation. If you've been on Tumblr lately, and you really should be, it's a swirling mass of open-mindedness and encouragement. It's got its dark corners, like anywhere on the internet, but it's generally a great place to be. We're going to play some music now. Stace, what's going on?
Can we go shopping?
Of course, whatever you want.